Aloha, Mai Kako. Welcome to another uplifting edition of the Little Grass Shack, where we bring you the best of island music, culture, and the spirit of Aloha.
In the village, he rises, island heart never hides.
Today, we're talking with Christina Uyeno in the Little Grass Shack. Today, she is part of the group The Talk Story Collective. The term talk story holds significant culture weight in Hawaii. It refers to the traditional practice of sharing stories, history, ideas, and daily experiences, a cornerstone of Hawaiian oral tradition. This method of communication has been instrumental in preserving the island's history and values across generations. We'll continue on with the Little Grass Shack and Talk Story with Tina in the Little Grass Shack. I'm Island Emory.
Aloha spirit from above.
Yes, Island Emory, Little Grass Shack. You know what? I've got a special guest in studio today. We have Christina Uyeno from the Talk Story Collective. I got to enjoy their take. People. The stage? People get stage fright. If you're in a drama club or what have you, what I experienced here in Las Vegas, this group of people that took the stage and made me tear up, made me laugh, made me tear up again because of the culture, and then it made me laugh because your performance. We have Tina and Aloha. Welcome to the Little Grass Shack.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Tina, you're originally from Hawaii, but what part?
Yeah, from Oahu. I am a Pro City grad, so go Chargers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, won't hold that against you.
Thank you.
So, living in the islands, and I always ask this question: why Las Vegas? I mean, what come to Las Vegas? The ninth island. Why?
Yeah, it's an interesting journey that we took. So we actually originally went from Hawaii to Portland, Oregon. My partner and my best friend both wanted to move there, and so they just sort of dragged me along with them, and got to experience being away from the islands from the first time. Unfortunately, I happened to go up right when the pandemic hit, and so it was a lot to sort of experience being away from home, catching people not at their best, going through unprecedented times, and it was cold, it was wet, it was gray, and I just at one point was like, I gotta get out of here. I need to go where there's more island people. I need where the sun is, and we sort of just kind of thought about where the next step could be, and we're like, well, a lot of Hawaii people go to Vegas, so let's just try it. I had never visited Vegas before moving there.
Really?
My partner had gone once, so it could have been a really bad move, but we are really lucky that it's really worked out, and we've liked it so far, surprisingly. So it continues to surprise us how much we like it, I think, every year that we stay.
Like you said, you've never been to Las Vegas. They've built up, the bridge between here and Hawaii so strong with all the travel packages and families, and that, to continue to move here. I'm surprised you never even got a chance to go to the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I mean, I think I attribute that to maybe my upbringing in that I grew up in the church, and so we didn't really gamble, we didn't really do any of that stuff, and so it just never really appealed to me or to our family, so we just never went. It was always about going back to Okinawa to visit family or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what, we'll talk more with Tina from the Talk Story Collective and her journey from the 8th island to the 9th island. I'm Island Emory, Little Grass Shack. Get connected with me at islandemory.com. All right. Little Grass Shack, Island Emory, enjoying the music. Yeah, you know what? Enjoying the Talk Story Collective right here with me, Tina. We were talking about your journey from Hawaii to Portland to the middle of the desert, and the thing I got to enjoy is your performances in drama or on the stage. I call it the black box feel. If you guys don't know what the black box feel is, it's just like literally like a SNL skit, people coming together in the hall, hectic, people getting together and trying to get on. And my thing is that as somebody watching it, I was like, man, I don't know how you guys get through this. I mean, did you go to school for acting?
Yeah, so I did take a couple of classes and I did try the college thing. I am definitely one of those people that don't strive in a classroom setting and so quickly found that to be really challenging. But I was really lucky to be able to audition for Honolulu Theater for Youth, doing my first show there, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. And after that was given the opportunity to stay as a company member. So I got a lot of my professional experience working in professional theater with Honolulu Theater for Youth for about 3 to 4 years. And that relationship continues to be strong. They continue to support me in everything that I do. Even with Hawaii Talk Story as well, they were really supportive in that. So that's sort of where a lot of my experience comes from. It's just getting my hands dirty.
Well, definitely a hands-on thing. You get to learn all the mistakes and the obstacles and stuff like that. So you become more seasoned as you grow, right? But living in Hawaii, I never really thought that it was really big about drama or on stage. I mean, you talked about the youth group, and to me, all I see is like Hawaii 5-0. You know what I mean? Is there a big community in drama or in stage?
Yes, this is my favorite question because I love uplifting Hawaii theater. I think a lot of people don't realize that we have so much talented writers, people who are writing stories for local people out there, and there's a huge acting community there. I think certainly it's grown so much more because of Hawaii 5-0, Magnum PI, all these different film people that are wanting to take advantage of the beautiful islands, but they're also recognizing that there's a lot of talent there. So we have Kumukahua Theater that specifically just does island plays. You have Manoa Valley Theater, you have Diamond Head Theater that does a lot of more musicals and things. So there's certainly a lot of outlets, but we certainly need more. I do know that Windward Community College has now just started their conservatory, and so this conservatory is free. All you have to do is audition to be a part of this program, and it's a free certification in theater to be able to learn that, and you're learning from people who really admire and cherish local stories. So I think it certainly is coming on its way, even in improv as well. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
I tell you what, man, we'll talk more with Tina, man. You know what? I think I want to be an actor now, behind the mic. I'll tell you, we'll continue with more music right here with the Little Grass Shack. Get your spirit on right here, the spirit of Aloha. www.islandemery.com. Hang out with me and more of Tina talk about Talk Story Collective with the Little Grass Shack. Yes, Little Grass Shack. Still talking about the stage. Yes, got Tina Uyeno in the Little Grass Shack as we continue Talk Story and Talk Story Collective. I'm really excited about you talking about all these other entities or other sources that people can literally search out in Hawaii and becoming an actor. Because when you see like the backdrop of Jurassic Park or I'll be honest, one of my favorite shows is 50 First Dates, and they came up with characters from Hawaii, like Bula, and it's like, wow, where did they get that from? What are your thoughts, with the big backs, the big scenes, and the backdrop of Hawaii being that part of that, I guess that role, bringing the film to Hawaii.
Totally. I think, it's a great gateway because obviously Hawaii is beautiful, right? And people come for the location. But I think if you truly let yourself be open to it, you stay for the culture and the people, and you learn that there's such a deeper, there's just so much more depth when you get to connect with that and really lean into being curious around the history, around the knowledge, around the people, the culture, and all of that. You start to get a sense that, this is actually much bigger than just the place that it is, right? I think a lot of knowledge and what I know for the culture is that the aina itself, the land itself, holds so much power for the people there. And so I think if you find that Hawaii is such a beautiful place to be and you love it and are drawn to it, then by default you must love the people and the culture. And it's, I don't think, sometimes I think people think that can be gatekeepy, right? That they're like, well, but what if I'm not allowed to, and this and that or the other? But I think if you lean to it with curiosity, you'll find that it enriches your experience in it, and you really start to get just a holistic sense of what it really means to love Hawaii.
Right. For me, moving away from Hawaii and then, get to experience the Talk Story Collective, like I said, I literally teared up because of the, Brothers Casimiro or, the music itself, and then the hula that you guys presented, and you talked about the choreography was literally built for that show, and it really shows culture. Sometimes I love reggae music and stuff like that, but sometimes we kind of lose culture. And then for what you guys have portrayed this past, I know there's going to be more of upcoming stage performances from you folks, but how did the Talk Story Collective come about, though?
Yeah, I think it kind of came from just this big yearning and desire to hear our stories again, now that so much of us have moved away from the islands, and just recognizing that it's something that you take for granted, going back home and just being able to hear Pidgin, just being able to hear just the proximity to all the stories is right there. But we also came to a realization that if we want these spaces to be here, we're now at a point of our lives where we have to create it. We have to be those spaces. We have to be those leaders to be able to do that. So that's kind of how it came to be.
Wow. I tell you what, man, we're gonna ask more questions with Tina. Stay tuned with Little Grand Shack and more music. Spirit of Aloha. I'm Island Emory. Little Grand Shack, still talking story with the Talk Story Collective. The Queen herself has come into the studio. She is one of the actresses of Talk Story Collective, and she played Queen and Princess and the Isopina,
yes.
Correct? And how did that show, or what, coming to as a collective, of course, different skits and stuff like that, but how'd you get involved, or are you part of the writing team, or?
Yeah, no, this was a compilation of a lot of existing work already. So from people that we just knew that we needed to make sure that Hawaii's story was really represented, right? And so that comes with just making sure we had the staple writers. And so who we were able to put into the show based on casting was Lee Cataluna, Ryan Okinaka, Victoria Nalani Newbold, and just having their work in there just created just so much beautiful things. And The Princess and the Isopina was written by Rosalind Kuchachia and Lisa Matsumoto. And what's really exciting is that The Princess and the Isopina is sort of one of the first shows that happened with or just kind of started the collective Ohia Productions, which was back home. They're really well known to make all these different local fairy tales. So like Once Upon One Time, right? And just telling just these, I think it's I can't remember what the name is, but like Hansel and Gretel and all of those like fairy tales, but they put a local spin on it. And so bringing The Princess and the Isopina here to Las Vegas specifically has been a dream of Rosalind Kuchachia's for about 10 years. So when we told her, hey, we want to kind of showcase some of these stories, she was so excited. And I'm really excited to say that because of this sort of gave a foundation for us to be able to look forward in 2026 to fully mount the whole musical of The Princess and the Isopina here in Las Vegas. And it'll be its first debut, and just a dream come true for Rosalind, which feels really exciting and important to hold.
Well, you know what, you said a lot of I got at the end of the show that a lot of the cast members were from all over the U.S. They moved from Hawaii, and then they ended up all over. I mean, what's the furthest cast member? I think some of you said New York. Yeah,
probably New York is the furthest we can go from the West Coast. Mm-hmm. But our some of our actors and certainly our producer and our director was from out there as well.
And they have local ties.
They do, yeah. So actually, both of them, our director and the other co-producer, Wainani and Mahina, they are Kanaka. They're from Hawaii. We all met in high school, so doing a show together. So this kind of felt like a real full circle moment, being able to put together a collective show that's sort of cabaret style, which is very much similar to what we did in high school together. So that was really fun to do.
I'll tell you what, we'll talk more right here with the Little Grass Shack Talk Story Collective with the Queen herself. I'm Island Emory. Yes, Little Grass Shack. And yes, the Queen has entered the building. No, she's in the studio. Tina and in the Princess and the Iso Peanut, we've talked about how the show came about and writers and people from Hawaii moving away. And, you know, how we met was Kelsey. Yeah?
Yes.
And she was the princess.
She was, yes, and she did an excellent job.
You know, all you folks have brought so much energy to the stage, and you know, folks, if when this cast comes back to Las Vegas, I will definitely jump in it. But yet, you get to see local talent at its best, and you know, because you only see things like I said, Hawaii Five-O, you see Magnum PI and stuff. But now the big thing is Moana. Mm-hmm. You know, and Moana's been hitting the it's what is it, like the top running box office hit since Thanksgiving and what have you, and it's just blown up. But for you folks, to me, it's like roots. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And for you to kind of take it, you know, being the Queen and bringing that energy to stage, I mean, what's the preparation for that?
Yeah, I mean, this was really such a special process because I had never been able to do a Ohia production show. And again, they're so well known on the islands, and it's just such a beautiful show that I've always wanted to be a part of it. And so it was kind of a dream come true for me to be able to be a part of it. I wasn't expecting to, but Rosalind was just so gracious to let me play the Queen, and that was special. For Kelsey, her mom was part of the core people that built that production, and she grew up with Rosalind. And so this was sort of a passing of the torch, is what it sort of felt like, where now Kelsey is now an adult, and she's sort of taking on the role of bringing Ohia, bringing Princess and the Isopina, and sort of being the next generation to carry that torch and carry these stories forward. And so I think what you have is a process of people who deeply cared about the stories, the people who created it, and wanted to make sure that it was respected and paid homage to it, and just wanted to care for it and see it live on. And so I think that's a lot of the preparation, was just understanding sort of the gratitude that we have in being trusted to tell these stories, but also knowing the deep responsibility we had to follow it through and make sure that it was excellent in every way that we could. So I think for both of us, we're actors, and you know, we grew up with the songs, we grew up with the stories, so memorizing it, not so much the preparation that needed it to be, but it was more so making sure that it was cared for in all aspects of the show.
You know what, we'll keep hanging out with us in the studio with the Little Grass Shack and the Queen herself, Tina. Get connected with me at islandemory.com and the Little Grass Shack. Little Grass Shack, Island Emory, hanging out with Tina Uyeno, talking about acting. You know, me, I act up all the time. You know, that's what my other half tells me. You're always acting. Yeah. You act like you know everything. I think that's the kind of acting I was talking about. But, you know, with you, you're Okinawa descent, right? Mm-hmm. And from what I saw of the cast member, I mean, there's so much culture. And that's something that you guys have brought to the stage. You know, we've talked about Hawaii. You know, I have almost got the feel of what you guys portrayed was like is it the King of Siam? Or you know, the kids and you know the king. You know, and more of a Asian flavor, but yet I see a lot more of what you guys can produce, and it's just like baby steps, like you said, and you know, moving forward. What I saw in the black box or at the Beverly, it was so awesome. I just kind of have to go back to it because you don't see that so much. I mean, you get to go to all these shows in Las Vegas Strip and, you know, glitz and glamour, but you get to go to this little room and these people are like literally, you know, grassroots trying to get out there. And I saw what Ohana or family come together and kind of put together. And you know, for what I know you got people to thank. I'd like to thank you for even coming into the studio and just taking time out of your busy schedule, though. But you know, Awesome stuff.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you so much. Yes, and we do have people to thank. There was especially people who fed us and the cast. And so 2 Scoops of Aloha, Bowls, Las Vegas, the Poor Cash Plug, Shaka On Point. These are people that just in kind gave us food to nourish us during Tech Week and the rehearsals and the show. So that was really special. And I'm so glad that the culture came through. I think one of our big things that we want to do is steer away from what tourism and what the media has told us about what we look like and what we should sort of act like. And we really want to go down to just the cultural roots and share a different perspective from that.
And then it is a passion project, right? There's no $1 million contracts or what have you, but it is a passion project. And it takes money to put things on and stuff like that. And my hat's off to you folks and your whole cast of putting this on in Las Vegas, of all places. And this is the first show, right?
This is the first show, yeah, and we're hopeful to look forward to more and maybe, one day get to your status of being 25 years on the air and, doing the work and bringing community together, yeah.
No. I mean, do you have future goals for yourself?
Yeah, well, for myself,
yes, for yourself.
My gosh, I mean, I would love to continue to see stories being told about my culture. I don't think there's a lot of Okinawan culture out there, and so that's a big focus of mine for this year, getting together, gathering stories from people, and just wanting to see that out there. So whether that's in animation, whether that's another, what is the Moana equivalent of Okinawan culture? I don't know. But,
we'll find out.
Let's see that.
Yeah, let's see that through. I'd like to thank you for coming into the Little Grass Shack and hanging out with me. And I don't think this is going to be the last time we'd be hanging out. I'm sure we'll be enjoying, many more laughs and maybe cups of coffee. But yet, is there any other places that they can find what's happening with the Talk Story Collective, our listeners? Yeah,
we do have a website, talkstorycollective.com. We also do have an Instagram, talkstory.collective. You can find us there. And if you're ever interested in wanting to get involved or just want to chat, we're definitely open to it and want to talk to you too.
Right. You know what? We got more music coming your way. And thank you very much for coming into the studio and hanging out with obviously me.
Yes, thank you.
No. Folks, again, we'll stay connected with the queen herself, Tina Uyeno, representing Pearl City. Yeah, she said Chargers, people.
Let's go.
Let's go.
2010?
Yeah. Wow, 20. Oh, my God. Oh, thanks.
Oh, sorry.
No. As we take off, you know what? Oyo, malama and aloha. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, back in Little Grass Shack. I'd like to thank Tina Uyeno for coming into the Little Grass Shack. We talked about Talk Story Collective. By adopting this concept, the Talk Story Collective aims to bring authentic Hawaiian stories to broader audiences, ensuring that the depth and diversity of Hawaii's culture are both celebrated and preserved. Their events not only entertain, but also educate, fostering a deeper understanding and appreciation of Hawaiian heritage. For more information about their events and initiatives, just visit their official website. I'm Island Emory with Little Grass Shack. Get me at islandemory.com. Ahui ho, malama pono, and aloha. God bless everybody.